Hello, welcome to our research session. Faculty Community of Inquiry Transforms Online Teaching Perceptions and Practices. I'm Karen Skiba, Online Faculty Development Program Manager at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Hi, I'm Maria Widmer, an instructional designer and doctoral student at UW-Madison School of Education. The focus of this research case study is an exploration of the impact of a large blended faculty learning community on instructors' perceptions of and practices for online education. As we go along, we'll give a brief overview of the research design, some details about the program examined in this case study, an analysis of program elements categorized with the Community of Inquiry framework, and a discussion of our findings. We're going to hit just the highlights for now, but we'll provide you with a link at the end to a summary of the data analysis in case you'd like to dig in further. As we go along, we'll take pauses to do some brainstorming together so that we can all benefit from our collective expertise. We'll ask you to add your ideas to a Google Doc, which you can find via the URL shown on this slide. It's tinyurl.com/pod-coi-2020. The research questions that this case study sought to answer are which methods utilized in the blended faculty learning community, categorized by the presences of the Community of Inquiry framework, had the most impact on participants' perceptions and practices of online course design and teaching, and why were these methods impactful?
To answer the research questions, we conducted a mixed method descriptive case study of a blended faculty learning community at the University of Wisconsin-Madison called Teach Online at UW. Our data sources included interviews with learning community participants, surveys asking participants to evaluate the impact of the learning community after they have taught online, an analysis of the program, including a content analysis of online discussions in which participants shared challenges, concerns, their lessons learned, and strategies they plan to implement in their own online courses. Maria and I are both facilitators for this program. I am also the program manager and founder of the learning community. 11 instructors from diverse disciplines and academic appointments participated in the in-depth interviews. The instructors were selected because they had completed the Learning Community program and taught an online course within the last year. To date, 357 unique participants completed one or both courses that comprise the Learning Community, of which 65% completed both courses for a total of 593 enrollments. The primary objective of the faculty learning community is to advance high-quality online education by preparing instructors for the course development and teaching process. The learning community is divided into two blended courses, the first called Plan and Design, and the second called Facilitation and Management. The topics for both courses are listed here. Online modules modeled effective online course design and facilitation practices. These modules were followed by in-person lunch sessions or synchronous webinars that engage participants in further exploration of the online content, providing a blended learning experience.
Now 20 years old, the Community of Inquiry framework has been an important contribution to the literature on online and blended teaching. Despite its widespread use as a theoretical framework, its application in the research on faculty development has been limited. This study examines the COI framework in the context of professional development in order to provide faculty developers with evidence-based strategies to guide instructors through teaching transformation critical to student success in online education. The coding scheme for the qualitative analysis was based on the Community of Inquiry presences and elements listed on this slide. Each of these contributes to the development of teaching, social, or cognitive presence in a learning environment. And we'll talk about each of them more as we go along.
Teaching presence is everything the instructor does to guide, support, and shape a learner's experience. This includes the design and organization of all the activities in the learning community. It also includes direct instruction, sharing knowledge through diverse sources, confirming understanding through assessments and feedback, and facilitating discourse by encouraging participants to share ideas and set the climate for learning. For example, after each module, participants reflected on how they would apply what they learned, either through a detailed planning worksheet or an online journal to reflect on strategies they could use to address common online teaching challenges. The learning community facilitators encourage participants to share challenges and ideas during online discussions and synchronous sessions. Both courses provided a variety of perspectives from experienced online instructors, many who were past participants, through live presentations and video testimonials. The facilitators, many who were instructional designers, were integral to the learning community that helped the instructors build trust with the participants. Here is one quote from a participant: "The thoughtful feedback on the assignments was extremely helpful, not just from a relevance point of view, but also from an accountability point of view." Take a moment to pause the video, pull up the collaboration document, and share your thoughts. How can you use teaching presence in your faculty development programming?
Social presence is what students and instructors do to communicate openly and purposefully in the learning environment. Relationships and group cohesion take shape as participants engage in personal and affective communication, projecting their personalities through emotion, humor, and personal disclosure. In online discussions and synchronous meetings, affective communication was established through the use of humor, self-disclosure, graphic symbols, and other forms of emotive language. The learning community offered opportunities for open communication, congregation, and free talk among participants in order to support the development of collegial relationships, in particular through in-person sessions and the online cafe and share resources discussion forums. Every face-to-face meeting began with a shared meal and 15 minutes for informal conversation. Participants were placed with disciplinary colleagues in an effort to build on existing local connections, and then mixed through the online group discussions so that they would be exposed to a variety of opinions and ideas. Collaboration with instructors and instructional designers from across campus was cited by the participants as the most valuable part of the program. One shared, "I really valued meeting and getting to know people outside my department who were similarly interested in improving teaching." Take a moment here to pause the video, pull up our collaboration document, and share your thoughts. How can you use social presence in your faculty development programming?
Cognitive presence is the extent to which learners are able to construct and confirm meaning through reflection and discourse. The first phase is the triggering event, or the recognition of a problem or issue. Participants came to the learning community with a number of concerns about teaching online that they were hoping to resolve. In the exploration phase, the participants shared and brainstormed relevant resources and ideas. In the integration phase, participants connected ideas and created solutions through application activities that allowed them to create content for use directly in their own courses. And in the final resolution phase, that is when they critically assessed the viability of the proposed solutions. Both courses solicited participants' challenges and concerns about teaching online in introductory and topical discussion forums during meetings and through collaborative activities. This is an example of a starting point activity that asked participants to share their prior experience before they began a module.
At the end of the learning community, participants had a choice of a final project designed to support continued progress in their course. A final lessons learned discussion allowed participants to share the ways in which their opinions about online teaching had changed and the strategies that they plan to apply in their own courses. A game of Jeopardy and a celebration event allowed for both fun and meaningful resolution of the ideas that they had learned in the program. At the end of the learning community, instructors felt confident and prepared to design and teach quality online courses. One shared that their big takeaway was an overall increased awareness of the components necessary for creating, delivering, and managing an online course. One final time, take a moment to pause the video, pull up the collaboration document, and share your thoughts. How can you use cognitive presence in your own faculty development programming?
The case study analysis supports the findings that all three community of inquiry presences contributed to a meaningful learning experience through which instructors reconsidered their perceptions and practices of online education. It was the meta experience of being an online student and experiencing the modeling of all the presences that most impacted participants' perceptions of and practices for online education. Most participants indicated that this was the very first time they ever experienced being an online student, and it was very humbling and eye-opening.
Finally, the blended experience in which participants engaged first in online modules, followed by face-to-face or online webinar sessions, proved impactful. Direct experience in the online courses allowed instructors to be immersed and spend time ruminating on the content. At the live meetings with guidance from facilitators, participants would reflect more deeply about the student experience, the online content, and their plans to apply strategies in their own courses.
In summary, the holistic learning experience that emerges from the interaction of teaching, social, and cognitive presence supports instructors in transforming their perceptions and practices. This impact was most immediately salient in March 2020, when instruction was quickly moved to a remote format due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Participants reported that their experience in the learning community allowed for a more rapid and effective transition to remote teaching.
Thank you very much. We hope that you found this presentation helpful, and we are more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Goodbye.